Hi, welcome to All About Kids. My name is Emily Schultz, and I'm with Intermedia Arts. We are a nonprofit, multidisciplinary community arts organization based in South Minneapolis, whose mission is to build understanding among people through art. We are proud to be one of 4 organizations presenting a multidisciplinary 7-week art series called Intersecting Rhythms, an African American and Jewish cultural dialogue. The series aims to promote understanding and bridge differences between the African American and Jewish communities in the Twin Cities area. Part of the series is this visual exhibition here called Distant Relations, Visions from Within and Face to Face, as well as a series of performances and filmed screenings. As Tecumseh states in his curatorial statement, this show is a collaboration of unique visionaries. These artists have traveled within themselves. Entitled Visions from Within, Minneapolis artist Tecumseh Eichen curates sculpture, photography, and painting by Jewish and African American artists of Minnesota, reflecting their world-spanning traditions as well as their visions for tomorrow. As Tecumseh states in his curatorial statement, this show is a collaboration of unique visionaries. These artists have traveled within themselves with their identities intact. With self-realization constantly under examination, they are able to evoke a spirit of awareness that allows the audience to share that inner vision. The artists chosen came to me in many ways and stories, from visions to happenstance. My faith is solid in this matter. I am an African American raised by South Carolina parents whose heritages were a mix of Nigerian, Cherokee, and Irish, which made us African Americans. Then there is the fact that I grew up in Jewish communities in Evanston and Skokie, Illinois. My intention in curating this exhibition was to select 10 great artists of Jewish and African American lineage whose works are like threads of life, and therefore I have just begun the weaving of a tapestry, this show, called Visions from Within. In the other visual component of Intersecting Rhythms, Distant Relations is a photography show entitled Face to Face, Encounters Between Jews and Blacks by Lawrence Salzman. In the corresponding book by Lawrence, he starts it out with a quote by Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "People fail to get along with each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other." Face-to-Face, Encounters Between Blacks and Jews juxtaposes through photographs and quotations how African Americans and Jews view each other, and by doing so reveals much about humor, human interaction, and coexistence in America. Photographer Lawrence Salzman challenged his own racism on his journey of exploration not to foreign lands, but to people living in diverse corners of Philadelphia, with whom I have never had an opportunity to speak, unquote. This unflinching photo essay of Salzman's neighborhood reveals shared and contrasting perspectives. Another part of the Intersecting Rhythm series is the play To Know the Heart of the Stranger, featured here at Intermedia Arts January 1998, co-directed by Kim Hines and Harvey Stein, and featuring a multicultural, intergenerational cast.
To know the heart of a stranger. To know the heart of a stranger. Just what does this mean? And are we really committed to wanting to know one another?
Or is it just one of those things people say to prove to others that we're all good people, compassionate people, liberal people?
Citizens of the world.
Children of the universe.
And do you really want me to know what is in there? What you're really feeling inside? Because after you tell me, we won't be strangers anymore. Are you sure you want to tell me those things you don't dare say out loud? Because once we've gone down this road, you can never turn back.
And do you really want to know what's here inside of me? Are you afraid to know what's there? Or just might be surprised at what you find? No peeking. You gotta commit to all of it. Eat everything on your plate. Get to know me.
Get to know me.
Get to know me.
Get to know me.
And I will cease to be a stranger.
What is a stranger? One is neither a friend nor an acquaintance.
We know too much about each other to even think that the word stranger can be used to describe our relationship.
Woo! Word up! Tell a story. Tell the truth, then all is glory. Word up! Tell a story. Tell the truth, then all is glory. Word up! Tell a story. Tell it all.
Right now.
Tell it all.
Right now.
Tell it all.
Right now.
For it is written, and we all know what's up.
The first thing we're going to cop to is that of our histories. Yours over there, ours over here, and go down, Moses went down in Egypt land. Tell Pharaoh to let my people go.
Both of our history started in slavery. But hey, let's admit, you got the better deal by far. You got your big fancy sets. You'll Brenda looking fine in this Pharaoh's outfit. Charlton Heston, special effects. Direction by Cecil B. DeMille. And a lucrative deal to show the Ten Commandments every Easter.
Passover.
Excuse me. Passover. For the next 50 million years, and to top that all off, y'all got y'all own land.
We, on the other hand, got
Old Man River, that old man
as I was rudely interrupted. We, on the other hand, got a couple of revivals of showboats, written by a Jewish man, of course. And that's it, I guess. No residuals, no land, no back pay, no overtime. We didn't even get the 40 acres and a mule that was promised to us. We didn't get nothing. And might I add, Lena Horne is still pissed off that she didn't get to play the role of the tragic mulatto Julie. It went to that white girl. What's her name?
Ava Gardner.
Yeah, Ava Gardner. Word up!
Word up!
Word up! Word up! The second thing that we're gonna cop to is that no matter where blacks have gone, no matter where Jews have gone, both groups have been stereotyped by the Christian white majority. That includes the Catholics and the Lutherans, too.
The whole project started about a year and a half ago. I kind of got the idea. I had recently arrived in Minnesota, and I've done a lot of plays about kind of reconciliation and similar themes. And I wanted to do a piece about blacks and Jews, and I ended up interviewing a bunch of several black actors and playwrights in town, and Kim and I just really clicked, and we had some things in common. She was quite interested in Jewish culture. So we did a little version of this show over a year ago here at Intermedia, and then it grew from then to what's happening now.
And here are the top 5 ways blacks and Jews have dealt with forced segregation.
Number 5, housing.
Blacks and Jews sought out housing where they could and built whole communities of their own, pissing off most of white America, who promptly decided to obliterate those communities with the building of the freeway system.
Or just plain bulldozing everything.
Number 4, jobs.
Jews and blacks started their own businesses and hired their own.
Thus foiling attempts to steal recipes of chopped liver pate and hot and spicy barbecue sauce.
Number 3, schools.
Jews and blacks started their own schools, some becoming the finest in the nation.
Forcing some whites to take up arduous task of learning Hebrew, acquiring a taste for kosher foods, or spending cancer-enhancing hours trying to get dark enough to pass and learning how to say chitterlings correctly.
Number 2, medical care.
Having made some wonderful contributions to medicine and science for all to benefit, blacks and Jews started their own medical schools and hospitals.
Despite the outcome of the Baki case,
And the number 1 way blacks and Jews have dealt with forced segregation is...
Segregated house parties!
Word up! I said, word up!
Word up! The fourth thing that blacks and Jews have in common is the violence against us.
We had the Holocaust that took over 6 million Jews from this planet in the 1930s and 1940s. And of course, this number doesn't even include the number of Jews killed in pogroms and inquisitions in previous years.
We had the Holocaust of the Middle Passage and slavery, and of 100 years of lynching. All told, 50 million blacks died due to their skin color.
and you say you don't know me?
We're practically kissing cousins.
I'm almost sure we've got some relatives in common somewhere. Our histories are just too close, say otherwise.
And what's up with the kinky hair, huh? What's up with the kinky hair? And some of you have pretty brown skin, pretty like mine, of course. What's up with that, huh?
Hey, and I can groove on me some klezmer music.
No. It's Motown for me. I mean, Diana Ross and her Super Dance are just so great. I mean, just love their music.
Stop in the name of love. Before you break
So tell me, are we really strangers?
Well, the first version we did about a year and a half ago, Kim and I kind of told our own stories, our own autobiographies about growing up, about when I was 13, my 2 best friends were a black kid named Byron and a Finnish kid named Jürgen, so I was always kind of in this multicultural confusion. That was the first version, and then after that we wanted to make it a bigger story, so Kim and I started to write the scenes that you saw tonight. She wrote some, I wrote others. And then we just kind of wove them together into the play.
It's cold today. My arthritis starts acting up and it gets cold again. How did I end up in Minnesota? To be closer to my son. He says, my son, that here we are the frozen chosen. I'd rather be chosen to live in San Diego. Anyways, in about 3 weeks, I will be going down to Miami Beach for my yearly water skiing vacation. I'll sit on that porch in the wicker chair, hardly moving these aching bones at all. Oh, soaking up the sun's rays. Oh, my little shtetl, my little village of Zabsk in eastern Poland, where I first saw the light of day. Oh, 75 years ago. I was the oldest child. There were 8 of us. My father was a cobbler. It wasn't like America where everything becomes garbage by the end of the week. A cobbler. You get a hole in the bottom of your soul, he puts another one on. When that one wears out, he puts another one on. Everyone in Zabsk was Jewish. Even the dogs were Jewish. Even the cats. When the cats meowed, they were really praying to Hashem. Meow!
Then in my teen years, well, I had myself out on the weekends. And by the time I was out of high school, I had 3 families wanting me to work for them, full time. I mean, I didn't aspire to do much of nothing else. It was different than it is today. You know, in those days, a colored woman could be one of 3 things: a nurse, a teacher, or a maid. And then if you had money, well, you could be a nurse or a teacher. And then you went to one of them color colleges. And if you didn't have no money like my family, well, you became a maid. I mean, they didn't have no affirmative action in those days, and without that, well, those white colleges, they wouldn't even look in your direction. So I had 3 families wanting me to work for them. There was the Eastmans, the Lawnans, and the Stearns. And I chose the Stearns because they was Jewish, and they treated me real well. Besides, my mama, she always said, when them white folks start picking on them Jews, well, you know it ain't long before we colored folks gonna be down for the time. That's right, we the next group gonna get picked on.
We chose to work a lot with teens because we really feel like they're the future, and teens are more outspoken about racism and anti-Semitism and the other isms than adults are. Teens, tell it like it is. So we really wanted to get the teen energy involved in this piece, and so we could attract a teen audience. So we hope that it really influences, especially younger people. It's not geared towards the avant-garde theater crowd. It's geared more towards the African American and the Jewish communities, and teenagers mainly.
Have you, ever heard anyone say, I would really like to be a Jew? But, you're looking at one right here. Oh, my God, all of my life, I have so totally always wanted to be a Jew. I love those people. The funny music and the quaint folk dances, the loud talking and big gestures. And, they're funny people. Have you ever known a Jew who didn't make you laugh out loud? Oh my God, they tell the best jokes. And what is up with those side locks? What a fashion statement. So way ahead of their time. They're visionaries, those people. You pay attention to them and you'll make some money, huh? Oh. And what about that cream cheese and lox? It is so my favorite food. Chopped liver, my favorite food. Gefilte fish? I can pass on that. And I don't know if you've heard it, but the Yiddish they speak, I love those. Where it's shlemal and shih tzu and kibbutz. Oh, and my very favorite one, verklempt. On Saturday Night Live? Oh my God, I am so verklempt. And get this. The Hebrew, it is written backwards and read upside down.
Excuse me, this is the Meyer versus Williams versus Jew versus African American case?
Yes, I'm Deborah Meyer.
And I'm Juanita Williams.
Please take a seat. I'm Scott Lawrence. I'll be your mediator for this case. Now, looking over my files here, it says that the gist of this matter is that Miss Williams here states that Jews have fallen down on their commitment to be a friend and support the African American people here in America and possibly in the world. Is that correct, Miss Williams?
Yes.
And Ms. Myers, you have a counterclaim stating that blacks have suddenly become a threatening force against Jews, certainly in the eastern portions of the United States and possibly in the world. Is that correct, Ms. Myers?
Yes, possibly. But you did fail to mention the name of that Farrakhan person.
Oh, okay. See, I knew that you were going to bring his name up. I told you I am not a black Muslim, Miss Myers. I am Baptist.
Baptist Schmaptist. Farrakhan is...
Listen, you don't want me to start talking about your people, do you? Because I'll go there.
Think about the words that come out of your mouth. They can help. They can hurt. Please don't seek to hate.
Did the teens have a lot of creative input into the play as well? I mean, were some of their stories woven in?
They did have some. We talked with them a bunch, and we had some writing sessions, got their feedback in writing, and we incorporated some. We came in with a lot, but we incorporated some as it evolved.
Okay. Do you feel you've developed some lasting relationships throughout this series?
Definitely. Actually, 2 of the kids tonight were ones that we worked with a year and a half ago. So already it's just amazing to see those kids grow physically and emotionally and in their performance abilities. It's quite amazing. So, and I hope to work with a lot of these kids again.
Here we are with part of the cast of To Know the Heart of the Stranger.
I learned more about Jews of America and stuff. I have learned how to respect them more and of their traditions.
I tried out for this just because a friend called me and told me about it. And things I learned most is about my race and others, and really how to be yourself around different races.
The reason I did this is because I thought, it's going to be a new experience for me and everything. And so I did it because I like learning new stuff, So I just tried it.
Well, I like to say that, yeah, this experience was a real good experience for me, and it's like taught me how to like identify Jews from Caucasian people or whatever, and
Yeah, I just feel like this was a great experience for me. I tried out for this thing just to expand my acting career. I want to be an actor sometime, but, and I think it's a great experience for all of us, and I think a lot of kids should get into the acting business.
it's a big history lesson for you.
Yeah, a lot of these people I knew from school, and I think this was a way to get a lot closer to a bunch of different people. You just know a little bit, and I can get to be really good friends.
I've always wanted to be an actress, and I have been acting since I was at least about 5 years old. So that's something that I really wanted to do, and I was hoping someone would see me on a commercial and say, oh, we want you for, whatever, wooty woo. But I love you guys, and thank you.
Shema Yisrael. Well, I'll borrow the beat up rap to tell it like it is. The truth straight up. Now I'll give you a little quiz. Who are those people?
Who are not quite white?
Who they say killed Jesus?
Oh my God, what a play!
It's us Jews from the closet. We got to come out to discover our true richness.
We gotta shout!
Jewish stories, Jewish songs, Jewish history. Seek out our slightly paranoid necks to be really free. And then give up some privilege of the white middle class.
Our doctor, lawyer, businessman jobs, don't even ask.
How we can de-assimilate from the consumer nation.
And not give up some person's capitalistic plantation. A de-assimilation man. A de-assimilation man. And now let's look around at this conflicted state. USA falling apart at an increasing rate. It could be our unique Jewish contribution to reach out to others who now suffer persecution. Those folks who can't hide their minority skin. We're the classic oppressed people.
We're almost kidding.
James Baldwin talked the courage to ask of another, a stranger. It's scary. Will you be my brother? Rooted in our tribe, the next step is coalition against those recent righteous bullies and their heartless mission. De-assimilation man. De-assimilation man. De-assimilation man. We like the way we walk, we like the way we talk, we like the way our bodies move when we dance in the groove.
And when we jump and shout, when we're excited and stuff, the word is up, bring up, they can't get enough.
They always in the eye when we're singing a song. They try to sing along, but they get it all wrong.
And don't get me started on the topic of hair. Still have to have no, I won't go there. But I'm making exception and talk about dreads. I stop for black folks, so don't be misled into thinking that white folks can do it too.
You can't, so don't you look stupid, get it too.
What they are trying to embrace, or they spend hours out in the sun, even rich before they're done.
But colors only cool when it's on them. When it's on me, colors what they can do.
Shall I talk about white poison? I'm sure you agree. You want to set the
And
pin?
use words like homie.
And broke and dope and say things like that's what check. Came from the hood.
Last name is Spokane. Where goes who and I'm that baby? Cause that's a cute hoe. Racing try to color.
I ain't got a what?
Kids grow up, not on that country, it ain't right.
Lost to confused.
It's either fight or flight.
Go on and on about the ironies I see.
You can explain it to me.
And what is it I want you to explain?
You want real talent and you don't give us no lane.
Why is it that you try to be like us and then you hate us?
What?
You try to be like us and then you hate us. You try to be like us and then you hate us. You try to be like us and then you hate us. You try to be like us and then you hate us.
After every show, we have a question and answer period and a discussion period, and each time there's no problem in getting people not only to talk about the show, but then they start giving their own opinions on the subject matter, and both positive and negative. One person tonight was talking about issues she felt were left out of the play, and she was pissed off about that. So it's stimulating people's thoughts, and that's really the purpose. It's not a cut and dry piece. It's more about process and about what are we going to do now that these issues are raised.
Something that's very hopeful to me is that the young people in your group have certainly experienced things and learned things that will change your life. You may not see that now, or maybe you do, but it will affect you and impact you in everything that you do from now on, and how you interact with people and respond to people, which is exciting to me as an educator.
Can you say something?
Back there. Well, this guy first.
I struggle with the disassimilation, and that my grandparents struggled to assimilate, and I realized they could do that because they were invisible, or they could become invisible, whereas African Americans can't. And I almost heard like there's something wrong with that we as Jews have to give up that what our grandparents strove for in order to be able to help African Americans. And I guess I'm just struggling. I don't.
I'd like to address that. I think it's just a different time. I mean, my parents made that choice too, and they needed to, as you know. I mean, it was a survival mechanism. You know, I don't blame them at all for making the choices they made. They made choices that were really good for their family. But times are different. We're not immigrants.
No, it's just been really fun to see the kids get to know each other, and we have 11 shows in this run, and it's amazing how after each show the kids' self-esteem sort of grew a notch. It's really amazing to see that with the attention they're getting. So that's been one of the most exciting parts of it for me.
Amen.
Amen.
Man, y'all, let's dance.
You've just seen a couple of the components of our 7-week series, Intersecting Rhythms and African American and Jewish Cultural Dialogue, presented by Intermedia Arts, the St. Paul Jewish Community Center, Jewish Community Action, and the Twin Cities Black Film Project. We are very proud to be promoting this series that is building cultural understanding through art, performance, and music and discussion. Thank you very much for joining us here on All About Kids.